okayfm 101.7.
Na mami misadio mehunu yibi waha demolition of Bulgarian embassy lawless and provocative. Say Bulgarian embassy waha no ye kwakwa kobuagu. Saa dan no ye dia ene ye de ma wo mu ana wo mu ana toye ti say de ekoto bi Oslo no.
Yo, that's it. Bulgarian for they said some other countries. Ghana, to say there were about 60 diplomatic missions into Togo for South Africans, Americans, France for Britain, Holland, Denmark. You name them. OSHA, the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, 1961. You're outlining how these missions are established. Receiving nations, send Koberbois to obtain properties, either for a chancery, for an embassy, and residential. Into Bulgarians, no, or more establish a diplomatic ties with Ghana. They were assisted by a foreign ministry. And 1983, no, the Bia embassy, I was to say, no, they secured the title to that land a year as a war East Cantonment. Plot number 10, Kakramadu.
Omo a secure title to that land.
Yes, Omo secure that title no for 50 years.
50 years, okay.
50 years. Omo secure 1983. Omo secure, your foreign ministry will be acknowledge all the various titles were prepared. It was in their name. And your BA embassy, no. Name how these things are done to, as it were, show the friendly relations and the great ties. And at the time now, we've had such a great history because now Bulgaria for and your first president, Osage Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, they were quite close. And we had a number of scientists and economists. Now, Omuka, President Nkrumah, may advisory council. Now, Omuye key members. We had very close relations, which historically Bulgaria and Ghana. Into this particular property in question, 1983, and Omo secure the title. Now, OSHA details of the documentation my access, you'll notice in 1983 no, they did the purchase from Mr. Theophilus K. Layton, who is now deceased, and it took effect from 2nd August 1983. Into the title now Omuwono is in their name up until June 2033. Into Omo was some 11 years. Aka also. That is, if they don't exercise their first right to, as it were, renew or lease, there's absolutely no dispute there. Embassy also. And to the shock of everybody, some people have come to lay claim, and serve almost with eviction order that they should leave. They before they could even get the understand exactly what is going on. Na enkofuno asanyaba abe demolish to thrown their properties out.
So enkrofo be ne koye sade no.
When I put out the statement on this matter, Obakaya Andra me issue statement. No, I hinted at a powerful man behind the whole operation, but man disclosing the thing.
okayfm.
But after the statement, no,
101.7.
Abayan Kasa, the Lands Commission, Omwako posted a stop work notice. Now, in that notice, when they say notice now, because in demolition, no, or more return to now start their own construction, or more see some humongous structure be meaning say a apartment or a hotel or I don't know, but some power, and they are building night and day, building very fast. It's the Lands Commission and draft 15th March 2022, or more call post stop work notice. And as I said, I brought the Lands Minister Basso. When I brought this to his attention, he was really outraged and active fast on the matter. Now, Usha, the notice, Omodia Koboho, to say notice to stop work.
okayfm.
Me patcho kamaye.
Plot number 2, Twitter, East Cantonment Residential Area, Accra. It has been observed, based on Lands Commission letterhead, it has been observed that this structure for development is being altered on the land belonging to the Bulgarian Embassy, acting by His Excellency Kostain Georgiev Garov, by virtue of a sublease from Theophilus K. Layton, now deceased, dated 2nd August 1983, for a term of 50 years, commencing on 1st July 1983, and was set to expire in 30th June 2033. You are hereby notified that the assignments in favor of Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma should be for the reversion of the 40 years commencing on 1st July 2033.
Na Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma no ye hwan?
Yes, and the Yao Edu Ampoma no onona or masterminded this whole operation, the demolition, the eviction, and this humongous construction at Air Koso. What created this diplomatic row?
But are you on my way?
Oh yeah, Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma, an appointee of President Akufo-Addo at the NDPC. Or you're one of the commissioners from the National Development Planning Commission, former deputy CEO of COCOBOD. Ono one mastermind this whole embarrassment. Then you usher the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Yeah.
Dr. Edu Ampoma, one of the commissioners, our National Development Planning Commissioner, NDBP, as a
yeah.
Sir, ono obi amani to me. And Lands Commission. Ma went to me and lay title to that land in dispute now. Sir, Edu Ampoma de kwabone tayo won't me kwaye. Enti ade na wo gine wani ahwemu a. So ko na aponche o si story building so a aponche woni ataban. Se nipa na de ko he.
Brilliant. Entiana Andra, the NDC caucus in Parliament, your leader, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, or address a press conference, demanded a probe, a full-scale probe, because clearly, no, our collaborators, or more Lands Commission, only Bulgarians, embassy staff, almost say, almost bulldozer and buy a chrono. They had police protection. They saw a car from.
So police protection. Yes. It means say case no kra no akoba bi to say court wa mukuta warrant for that demolition.
Well, maybe I mean who court documents be, but
okayfm.
I mean, what is clear is Omunya some kind of state support to carry out the operation of demolition of Muyaya. Obekaya, this is not new. 2 years ago, the same thing happened to residential property belonging to the Nigerians, Ubekaya, a Nigerian diplomatic property. And also a trigger a serious diplomatic case. There was war of words. Nigerian Senate, they considered it and a declaration of war and all of that. President Akufo-Addo had to step in, call his counterpart, President Buhari, and pleaded. Meaning, I wouldn't say the Ghanaian taxpayer is paying for the reconstruction. Nipana Oko Bubu a dino, sir, Nigerian High Commission property, no. Sir, businessman, no, who acted under the cover of darkness. With full backing. Yanyenehu. Unknown any collaborators within the Lands Commission and the security protection or whether they are from national security, wherever, according to the Nigerian eyewitnesses now. They've gotten away with it. Enemy and your taxes. We say we are broke, but millions of Ghana cedis and they restore that Nigerian facility. Until at this time, we are insisting, sir, the Ghanaian taxpayer, we will resist any attempt to get Ghanaian taxpayers. Because what happens in all civilized jurisdictions, perpetrators are surcharged, and they are, as part of our punishment, our sanctions, they must be made to bear the cost. And see, Dr. Yaweduampoma and any collaborators, we expect that compensation, because the Bulgarians clearly, what's their more dying, what's their more properties, or more they have a solid cinema, or what's there, they cannot be found, and all of that. The Ghanaian taxpayer should not be made to bear the cost. On my way, Mineo Casas say, Yantia District Assembly Common Fund, Yasi Yenisika, Yabetia Napco 4, Yantia school feeding caterers, Yantia road contractors. We owe some of these road contracts 2 years, 3 years. General government contractors, school feeding program for the buffer stock, Yantia Omo, free SHS, charge for I issue statement. Yantia Omoka. We are still doing double track because Yantumenya Sika Yadibe enough, Yadibe constructed adequate dormitories, and school infrastructure to end double track. We have all of these, areas all over the place. And Nyama is to say, are we going to impose fresh bills on the Ghanaian taxpayer, millions of Ghana cedis? We insist, sir, there ought to be a full-scale inquiry. Dr. Yaweduampoma, those who gave him that power, that audacity, sir, an inviolable diplomatic nation. Ushe Vienna Convention, is very clear. Diplomatic premises are inviolable. Won't mean koho. Only permission because it is considered a territory of that country, sovereign country or territory. This is more permission. More to me say you can even enter the premises. Indeed, not even the president and a foreign minister and a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee can enter any embassy without invitation, without express, permission. Now, these perpetrators were able to have the power, the audacity, the effrontery, armed with weapons and bulldozers to go and do what they have done, similar to what happened at the Nigerian High Commission, premises. I am clear in my mind, sir. We need a full-scale investigation to unravel because it's becoming. Look, first one they see and now you say, "Oh, it was a fluke."
Okay.
Assign AC. it's
me
clear that there are some people
honorable
in the system.
Me hear situation be say with him.
Yeah.
What the shedako bugu. Unya bugu wi a wabu agu awi. Nsiaga. Ya be kan say oh sa Ghana no. Ya kan say ya na diplomatic ties I no Bulgaria won na say no. Honorable what the ya fa no to ne hwade we so. The last one. Utu kwan ekọ Ukraine ne other countries around
Romania, yeah.
Romania enome ade so far baby a yaba bedru pa de okohunu ye ene baby a se Russia incursions a wo ye no ne ade no ade be pa na Russia epe Yade be pa na ope me pese me obese ofa Ukraine man Canada ho ana opese Ukraine fo no ye biribi say okay enko join NATO na o begina ka say hey NATO fo mu mi kura mama hwema ni mu o na bibi atwa de no ope
yo I'm say yenyina ye follow these matters as students of foreign relations and international relations, you know.
okayfm 101.7
Quite, you know, intriguing the air course. Ocean history now, Ukraine, the Soviet Union, the USSR, now a group of countries who came together and had the Soviet Union. Some analysts, it will appear President Vladimir Putin of Russia, or sign a treaty the Soviet Union of old. Professor Shestana or Betume are expanded in the territory. He's having, because he was a KGB officer at those times, and some believe that he's having nostalgic feelings about how to, as it were, extend the reach of Russia and probably see to an expansion. In 2014, Ubekaya, he annexed Crimea. The Crimea Peninsula, or the Nimai, and even though Ukraine has been an independent sovereign country after the collapse of the USSR, there are the eastern part of Ukraine, the Donbass region, Omoka Russia, that eastern province, more, if you like, close to Russia, or more percent, or more under the leadership of Moscow. There's been a lot of fighting, and the UN has recorded humanitarian crisis. Hundreds of thousands have been killed in that Donbass region between 2014 and 2021. There was a serious conflict situation at Air Coastal. They say they are causing the immediate trigger. Who kind of statements now Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, what issue and what presented to the United Nations, the case they have made out for this war. Or more referred to how the Russians in Ukraine, particularly the eastern province, how they claim they were being slaughtered and being prevented from exercising their right to succeed and to join Russia formally. Or more, assign listed the current leadership of Ukraine, or more penchant to invite the West and to be so close to West, or more application to join the EU, and most threatening to Russian strategic national interest, or more application to join NATO. Into OSHA, the the case for war now, the case for the invasion, almost submitted to the UN. Almost this new president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, or so pro-West, or per se Western, the Western allies, almost using Ukraine as a base, as a military base, and they want to have NATO membership. And even though
say Ukraine will never join NATO. So who say be say Western allies no
yeah, also it came a bit late in the day so far as the Russians are concerned. Now Uncle Mopese or yet that pledge earlier before the 24th of February or more attack here. But commitment no amber and there was a lot of showboating. Honestly, no, media many obi to say Henry Kissinger, who is the most, if you like, celebrated international relations expert in the United States of America or your institution, or former Secretary of State who was serving under two U.S. presidents, Nixon and Ford. Henry Kissinger Roy way back in 2014 in the Washington Post, and he indeed said that with the U.S. authorities there, as I said, more encourage Ukraine to be independent, as they should not be aligned, and they say more pro-West, and they don't also have to be pro-Russia. They should be fiercely independent. He said Finland. Finland is also a neighboring country to Russia. Now, so Finland is very, very independent. And it's a non-aligned poster. And Henry Kissinger wrote as far back in 2014, said, Ukraine should not join NATO. They shouldn't apply to join NATO. And they should not invite the West to establish a military base in Ukraine. And honestly, no, if you ask my humble viewer, the Ukrainian leadership, and cannot as adopted Kwame Nkrumah the non-aligned poster over during the Cold War. Kwame Nkrumah, Tito, Nehru of Egypt, and
Indian Prime Minister,
and the Indian leader at the time, who came together to form the non-aligned movement. Nehru of India, Nasser of Egypt, Tito of the then Yugoslavia, coming together to form the non-aligned movement. And Osha that poster a boy, and we saw the Americans, courted us. We got the Akosombo Dam. The Russians too were. We became like a beautiful young lady being courted by young men, and it was a strategic posture.
Okay.
Enti Osha, the ACC say now. You may want to argue that the foreign policy of the Zelensky administration was not very strategic, and Kamo adopted the Finnish approach, and Kwame Nkrumah and his allies, the non-aligned posture, as Henry Kissinger had advised
in 2014.
Anka Ebebwa. But having said that, hello.
But run up, mommy.
Okay.
When you don't go to so now.
Okay. Don't worry. I wanted to say, sir, in addition to that, we need to all accept, sir, President Putin was caught too far. He's overreacted. Yes, he said 1962. Time and Russia almost established a base in Cuba. The Americans did not accept. Did not accept it. It led to the Cuban Missile Crisis. There was a threat of mutually assured destruction, nuclear war. They had to pull back. But this time, he's clearly gone too far. The UN records of the humanitarian situation over 4 million refugees and all of that, terrible. And that leads me to young students and Mikosra or Romania, on the southern border of Ukraine. Meaning what they have gone through, the trauma. They had to walk over 3 hours to the borders. Their buses had to park, and the racial discrimination go through and all of that. A number of observations are Mediama Parliament, and I'm sure that the Foreign Ministry will be responding to those observations. But the most urgent residual matter, as I say, addresses your students no almost education. Send on the chair almost school no. Now, do your medical students.
But says yeah, do go other countries, satellite countries, be a university no, any or more and shall or munina the medical students.
On my receiving offers, there have been some offer of scholarships. Bulgarians cry here discussing on demolition. Say, they were the first country to offer them a scholarship opportunity. Hungarians who are here and Grenada for. But let's bear in mind that do not have full scholarship. Bulgarian, the NSA is about 8,000 euros for an academic year. Same for Hungary. Grenada is about 50% of that. What I have been advocating, and it's a Ghanaian medical schools, Ghanaian universities, public, private. We should also come up with a package. And Joanna Mine, the Minister of Education, here discusses that. We need to have a package because it's not even good for us as a country. You have other countries, or more offer your students an academic opportunity. They can transfer their credits and then complete their programs. Yeah, what are we doing? Our universities, what is being done? And it's not advisable because it may even lead to Third World War because already so many other countries are involved, fighting behind the scenes, mercenaries, sending weapons and all of that. Any advisable process our students will be returning to those, corridors at this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bet to me because we need these doctors. We share a doctor to patient ratio. And World Health Organization say it should be 1 is to 1,000. We are doing 1 is to about 6,355. Very, very terrible. We need these doctors. We need them more than they need us. Young admit or more. Let's find a way of assimilating them in our medical schools. Now among complete your program and graduate, and then we can post them to help with our health delivery. That's a very urgent matter. As I say, advocate in a and Shesana to me address that matter.
But that's honorable.
Yo, Mr. Medas, you mentioned one.
Well, shall so honorable Samuel could you to Ablakwa any trick and common.
OKFM 101.7.